1.
Happy Tuesday, Harlem. Last couple of weeks, we've looked at using YouTube in a couple different ways. One of those is to have your channel set up so that you can have pre-approved playlists and videos that you upload already approved for your students. And then the second week, we looked at kind of limiting the beginnings and endings of the videos to help get out some of the extra garbage, the video suggestions, things like that, making them full screen so that the kids don't have as many distractions. What we're going to look at this week is extending YouTube into other programs and gaining a little bit more advantage out of the videos that we have. The first one we're looking at is a very simple tool called Video Notes or VideoNot.es. Notice where the dot is if you're going to be looking this one up. And I think even if you get it a little bit off and you're just searching for it, you'll find it anyways. But what this site allows us to do, after you've set up your account, this is the main screen. Now, I've already preloaded a video. All you do is you find the web address for the video that you want to use, you load it, and then as you play the video, and this is for you, for students, it timestamps your notes that you take. And so you can see off to the left is the timestamp for every note that you take. And if it is about something that he says, whatever it is that you want to put in there, that's what's going to show up. Now, what's also cool about this, let me just go ahead and pause this video, is that when I am finished, well, first let's give it a title real quick. Really easy. You just call it, on this Milk Notes here. Save. I can create new ones from right here. I can open up other ones that might be available. When I save my notes, notice where they save. See, this connects to Google Drive, so there's no other extra places that you have to go to find things. You can access them from here as well as in Google Drive, and you'll be able to open them up. Snapshot in the export. That's kind of a cool tool. That means it's going to take an image of wherever you are when you export this. And if you have Evernote, you can also export to that. And then you can also turn this ability to synchronize your notes off if you just want to take random notes about the video. Now obviously this has value for maybe sections of video that you want students to view, entire videos that you want them to view, and they would be able to, because it creates a document that's saved in Google Drive, they would be able to share this easily with other students for continued discussion. Maybe kind of like the think, pair, share strategy, but they're each taking their individual notes, maybe comparing them, discussing them as a larger group or maybe a full class discussion. And then you have evidence of everybody's notes digitally and readily accessible to everybody else. So this is a very, very neat tool, simple, doesn't really connect with anything else, and notice here, it's open source. That means it's free and it's supported by people who just like what they see. And they say, buy us a cup of coffee is their way of saying, if you like this, send us a donation. Okay, so that is Video Notes. I would encourage you to just kind of play around with that on your own and see what benefit it might have for you as a teacher, for your students. It's kind of like an open note format rather than a fill in the blank, which has happened in the past. Now, if you are prone to having using the strategy of kind of a closed notes, so to speak, within videos, I would encourage you to look towards Edpuzzle. It kind of takes the fill in the blank type notes that we've done over the years, or that many teachers have done over the years through video, and expands the capabilities greatly. So once you've again created your account, and we do have the one that I'm part of right now is actually the middle school account. Their whole school has a subscription. I think it was like, I don't know, $800 a year or something like that. And so you can see over here on the left-hand side that there's a Harlem Middle School. So if you do have if your school decides to get this school account, and you can do this without it, it starts to categorize things. So we can see that there's 30 teachers currently using it. You get the different subject areas that they might be engaged in and creating content for. You have things that you have created personally. So these are other videos that I've Edpuzzled, so to speak. And now you're probably wondering, what does it mean to Edpuzzle? Okay, so Edpuzzle um, takes videos from any of these sites over here. So any that are already created in Edpuzzle, YouTube, which is where we just were, Khan Academy, National Geographic, TED Talks, Veritasium. So Numberphile, these two here, especially good for math. And then you have this crash course. And then how this works is if I want to, let's say, add content, let's go to YouTube here. And I'm going to search for that same one that I just had. I wonder if I can, there it is. See, so the same video URL that I put in there, I just pasted in and it immediately took me to it. So you can see that there are 4 options here. So I can crop. So if I need my students to not see the entirety of the video, I want them to focus in on one section. When they engage with this as a learning activity, this is all that they will have, not the beginning, not the end. And you as a teacher get to decide where that starts, where that ends. Secondly, you have voiceover. So for the selection that you pick, you can choose to record your own voice over the video, and it will silence the rest of the sound of the video, and it will only be yours. Okay, so in some circumstances, it might be you have uploaded your own video, and instead of even using the original audio that you had, or that was there before, you as the teacher are voicing over that, which is could have value. Audio notes is a little bit different. Yes, okay. So audio notes lets you as the teacher insert a voice note at any point in the video. Okay, so if I want them to focus in on whatever it is that Martin Luther King Jr. just said right here, I would click, please describe the emotions that someone in this audience might have elicited by hearing the words that were just spoken from 1 minute to 1:10. Okay, and so that's my cue for the students, whatever it is. You can say whatever you need to right there, pointing things out, not even asking questions. And you can do as many of these as you need to. Okay, so you as the teacher get to input your, not necessarily perspective, but you could, but your instruction, your comment, your things of pointing out what you want your students to see as critical or important throughout the video. So we have the cropped video, voicing over it completely, inserting audio notes, and then finally, and this gets back to where we started this first section here, we can put questions wherever we want. All right. So let's say I'm going to put a question at the very beginning. I click on this. I have 3 options. One is to ask a question that's going to have an open-ended response. So what do you anticipate this speech to discuss? All right, and I can add a bunch of these at the same location. All right, so if I wanted to add another one, then I just click the button right there and I get another one. Okay. Now another type of question that we have is closed-ended responses, right? So selected response. I'm just going to type in whatever right there. You can decide which one's correct and not. Notice for our math friends, we have equation symbols, so to speak, editor. We can insert images in any of these questions, links to other resources, which allows you to expand beyond what's just inside of the video and include images, diagrams, whatever you need, superscript, subscript, formatting. You can do those same options inside of the answer possibilities as well. And then finally, the other option here is just a comment. So it's not a question, but you as the teacher want to have the students pause the video, right? So it's automatically actually going to pause, and it's going to say, notice the facial expression. Make a note on your paper, okay? Because whatever we do, it's important to say we don't always have to use digital, and we can use hybrids of whatever it is that we use for learning. The goal is whatever adds value. So if there's a separate assignment off to the side that students are taking notes about body language, so to speak, in the speech, you can have both of these things going on at the same time. So as I said before, you can add multiples at sections. So if I wanted to add another one, I just hit this plus button. And so that's not all. I'm going to go ahead and just finish this. Okay. Notice that it also connects to Google Classroom, huge thing. I have this option to prevent skipping. That means students can't just skip questions because they don't know the answer. They have to put in something. Okay, now again, they can put in whatever they need to, and that might not be the best thing. But what's really cool is, let's see, let's go ahead and decide this here. I will get a spreadsheet of what percentage of the videos each student has watched. If I have a grade level, that will also be in there, when it was last seen, and whether or not they have actually turned it in. I can post this direct to Google Classroom, so I have a nice little shortcut there. I have options to share the assignment with other teachers, reset all my answers, export results to a spreadsheet, delete the assignment entirely, change the name of it altogether. I can go look at it by question to see what students have said and analyze those in that way. And then with a few other options in here, I can reset the answers for one particular student who I said, I don't think you put your best effort in the first time. I want to see what you can do really well. And I just reset that. Okay, and then in the end, I get a tracking of all of their grades based on every video that I've assigned these students over time, how much time they've spent in total, and then if I've given them scores for things here, those will also be shared with them. Okay, so what I really like about this is any of the selected response items are graded automatically. You have the ability to leave comments for the students' responses. So if you need them to go back and alter something, you can do that, or to redo something, they can do that. But it also allows you to present data to the students as a whole, as a class, and say, this seems to be a general theme of what you guys were saying in response to these questions. And then you can extend further and dig deeper into what the students were thinking there, and maybe elucidate a few more things. So those are just two really good tools that I would encourage every educator to pursue extending YouTube with. A video is just a video, but if I can gain from my students their thoughts moment by moment, and if I can also check their comprehension as they are watching a video, insert my own instructions at a very selected response, or very selected points in a video, I'm doing more than I ever could than just sticking in a VHS tape, a DVD, or even just pressing play on YouTube. So go ye therefore, Harlemites, and extend what it is that you do with technology and learning. And I encourage you to reach out for me for help and assistance. If you are struggling to set up any accounts, or just trying to figure out what all the different tools are. And I look forward to seeing what you can do with it. And I really, really encourage you to share that with me when you try. Have a great day.